reset again.
Mm-hmm. Braum removed. Yeah, I think that's an important one. I'm looking into the potential supports here for Faithful Boys, because I think Leona is gonna be a viable option here to have someone to throw out with your with your ult, right? Possibly Braum as well, since Volibear auto attacks, Kalista auto attacks a lot, and it can be really useful as a counter engage champion to the Hecarim. The the shield can block some of the bullet time. That is kind of scary, to be honest, because Misfortune's damage is kind of high. The only reason why she isn't that much used in comp play is because of the lack of ability. So right now, as we see a hover on the Zed, that is a scary pick. So much threat, not only to the Misfortune, but to every single member here of ADV. Although the ultimate counter to the Zed is a stasis item, and I don't think it's gonna be an option here.
It's almost like they heard you, right? They banned out the Brown the moment you talked about how they can block Misfortune, and then they pick up the Rakan. So Faithful Boys definitely know what they're doing here with the draft, to try to counter or try to at least deal with the Misfortune here. So that's a great pickup by them. And next we're gonna see ADV picking up the support. Are they gonna lock in here, Seraphine? What do you think about the Seraphine pick?
Seraphine is a great pick, with great synergy to Hecarim. It's a wombo combo composition right now that ADV is brewing up, and well, Orin can't be picked, so I don't think that's gonna be an option. If they lock in the Wukong, that's gonna be a nice pick. Yeah, have the rumble in the mid lane, Misfortune into Wukong into the Baron lane, and just have the Hecarim be one solid front line. But if they lock in Victor, that's a fine pick as well. The only problem with Victor is that in the early game, it kind of struggles a little bit against very aggressive champions. That's why we see a hover on the Fizz right now. Possibly a Zed, still an option for Faithful Boys. The only problem, if they commit on Zed, then they don't have magic damage. That's why they're hovering the Fizz as of the moment. The main issue that AC Faithful Boys will have as the game progresses is that the Victor is gonna be a big menace. Yeah, Aesol this time is a much a viable option. I think, Onups is looking into that. Yeah, I think, I see you, Onups. I see you, Onups.
You sure he didn't
Aesol
pick
is
up
a...
the ASO because of you?
Yeah. Actually, there's a bit of a backstory towards that Aesol pick. There was a time that I was 2024. I got really, really addicted. I was a one-trick Aesol. Then since I'm friends with them as well, I always request Aesol on their tournaments. Then I host like regular scrims, but it's broadcasted, like live streamed scrims, and I organize tournaments as well. So I always request them, like not really force them, right? I just request them to pick Aesol once in a while. Then whenever they do, of course, it makes me happy. So Onups is one of those players that actually use Aesol a lot of times already in tournaments. So it's not just a random pick. He has great experience on this already, among with other players, other mid laners in the Philippines. But this matchup is gonna be very difficult for Onups. Victor's one of those champions that can really distract an Aesol, because all you have to do when Aesol lands the third skill, the gravity thing, is, well, use your own gravity, your own the second skill of the Victor, the gravity pull, and it just cancels the intended wave clear that the Aesol wants to do minutes of the game. And even if you get to scale up, the Victor can still burst you down. That's how scary a Victor can be, especially with the Chaos Storm. When you get takedowns with your Chaos Storm, it just becomes uncontrollably large and it zones out everyone.
Yeah, and ADV, they have a lot of good team fight champions, right? If you think about it, like even with the Wukong as well, very disruptive with the Cyclone, and then you have the Seraphine with the Encore that can charm a whole bunch of champions all together as well. And then of course you have the Victor, which is very bursty when it comes to like AOE fights. And if they manage to like pull their opponents into like one of those small lanes in the jungle, then that will be the perfect situation for them to execute all these skills all together.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest factors here, especially for team fights, is the ADC, because there's a massive contrast in terms of range between these two champions. At least when we look at them as a pair with their support, right? Misfortune and Seraphine can easily poke them in the bottom lane, or in fights, they can easily poke out anyone. And they have the wombo combo, the encore into the bullet time. Meanwhile, for Faithful Boys, Mirai and Disaster is gonna struggle a little bit unless they get in range, right? Since at least the Kalista has his ult to like throw the Rakan, and then the Rakan just goes in with quickness, grand entrance for that extra layer of CC. They do have ways to at least get in their face, but Faithful Boy needs to be very careful, because the only one that can actually resist some damage is Spells, the Volibear. But the rest cannot really. And there's so much damage available coming from ADV. Especially since there's Victor, there's Rumble, there's Hecarim that deals so much damage already. Then you add in these two pairs. It's a scary situation for team fights, especially objective team fights.
And from what I hear from you, it sounds like ADV, they have the better draft. But will Janggon have the better time here? Still alive though. Does have extra shield, so he will be okay for now. Not enough damage by ADV to take him out, but here comes the flash. Oh, big commitment there by Janggon.
Yeah, fortunately for Manila Ananami, he still was able to reach level 2 and had like the had a shield. That's why he wasn't bursted down by spells. But on-ups, canceling the recall of Agnes and even forcing out his flash.
Okay, so it looks like FFB, they're again trying to play the aggressive gameplay of trying to win the jungle over early on. By the top from Manila Anilam, seeming to having the advantage, but now seems like Jangguan really wants to try to fight it back and try to keep his health as low as possible, forcing him to turn all the way back. By the bottom, we might see a jump here, but are they really going to go for it? I mean, they can't really tank the turret, so it's going to be a big risk unless if intentions come from the side, and intentions making a showing here. Where's Evening Child going to go? Before that, his teammate goes down. It's only Evening Child, but ADV says they're done.
Yeah, it's something that is easy to anticipate happening, right? Great pokes, great damage, great zone pulls. Now on-ups is kind of forced to catch the wave into the bottom lane so that Mirai and Disaster can go into the mid lane, get some gold as well. But the pressure in the bottom lane is definitely going to be overwhelming here for the Kalista and the Rakan, at least in the early stages of the game, right? In team fights, I think they have a standing chance. All they have to do is avoid the wombo combo, and since the Kalista does have a cleanse, and it's going to be much easier to at least get to safety. The only problem, and I'm going to be mentioning this a lot, like range. Range is going to be a massive problem here for Faithful Boys, especially for their carries. Because the Volibear, the Kha'Zix, they have to go in. The Assault, well, can do some work, at least on long range. But for the Kalista, they don't really have that much range compared to the other ADCs, let alone a Misfortune that only needs like 2 taps.
Okay. It looks like we're gonna get the Misfortune down the moment you mentioned about it. Now there's nothing much that Scorn can do about being at the lane all alone. In fact, being the lane alone here is a bit of a risk, but at least Scorn can clear off the minion wave, and that will allow the turret to be cleared off. Any other...
Great timing.
Yep.
Great timing by Disaster alongside with Fitz. And they got that kill. And the kill actually was handed over to Mirai. So that helped him catch up in terms of gold, and even is now ahead against Shine.
Are they going to go in for it? At the back, nobody's going to show up, so this is going to be the opportunity for the 2 players from FFB to reset, but the lane will be free for ADV.
Yeah, it's a fast clear for ADV. Maybe they just wanted to be safe because it is already past one more clear time for a Hecarim. So they anticipated that a Hecarim is gonna be there and they saw attention as well. I mean, they got to safety, but it's at the cost of so much play. It's nearly the tower getting taken down.
Oh, and here comes a beautiful charm there onto 3 of them. Anybody's gonna go onto the back? I see Agnes though. Agnes is gonna go in from the back. Gonna press it back onto them. They're forced to turn back. They will have to leave this tower.
Yeah, so much, again, damage and range coming in from ADV. They have lots of interrupting spells as well, like the gravity from the Victor and the snares and charm coming in from the Seraphine. Even the slow from the Make It Rain from the Misfortune is a big hassle to the members of Faithful Boys, that they can't really stay for long or get in close just because of those abilities.
Oh man, it's looking pretty tough for Faithful Boys now. They lost the bottom turret just before the first dragon. And the dragon can be easily contested. If they lose the middle turret before the dragon, that's going to be pretty much it. They have to hand over the dragon, but at least they still retain the mid turret, so the dragon can still be contested by FFB.
I mean, no Rylai Scepter just yet for on-ups. That is a big problem. You need your slow. And to get the slow, I think it needs to go back into the base first. Let's see if the gold is enough to get the item. I think it is. But it's going to be a little late into the fight.
And now the dragon will be started, and it looks like FFB not interested in the contest. Instead, they're going to go for the Baron, so they're going to have a trade-off here. But ADV, they want to contest for it. Okay, Tom will not connect at all. Maybe onto 1, but that's not going to be enough for the rest of ADV to follow up. But nevertheless, 1 will be contested, and looks like they will start to get kills in. Are they going to get 1? Yes, they will. It's going to be ADV getting the first kill. Maybe a second one even. Evening Charm managed to get away to safety.
Yeah, it's a great trade, great call coming in from Faithful Boys. The most optimal one here at the state of the game. But ADV, they recognize and they as well that they are the ones capable of taking control of this game, especially the pace. That's why they're trying to keep the pressure on to the members of Faithful Boys, trying to engage to them as much as possible. Although they need to be very careful of the counter engages, especially coming in from on-ups, because just one ult can actually turn the tides around, especially as the game progresses.
Yeah, and we know how good Faithful Boys is at counter engagement. We've seen that one before. So ADV, I'm sure they have learned from their previous lesson of like, okay, let's not look down onto Faithful Boys and their potential of doing the counter engagement. Let's not overcommit, and that's what they have been doing. Very disciplined gameplay so far for ADV.
Yeah, it's great adjustment as well that we're seeing Pits getting anti-shield already, especially on a composition that has a lot of shields, right? There's the one from the Rumble, Victor, especially Scorn, the Seraphine. The anti-shield is high value item here in this game. That's because the ADV, with their lineup, especially with the Rumble being a tank champion instead of a damage champion, it kinda limits the supposed damage of ADV. So now they don't really have that much. What they do have though is a strong presence. So maybe they can keep on pressing onto Faithful Boys later on. But in terms of damage, they might actually struggle a bit, especially with Disaster always gonna be attempting to cancel the bullet time of Shy, and since the Victor doesn't really have that much damage as yet, what he has is a little bit of poke, but not really like the scary part of the damage. Victor is a scaling champion, so it's just gonna be scaling alongside with Honor.
I noticed that Faithful Boys have been sticking together a lot, not really putting attention onto the side lanes of the farm. And as ADV wanted to engage, well, again, they're showing the level of discipline. But coming back to Faithful Boys, I worry that their farm potential is starting to slow down right now. ADV can scale further than Faithful Boys.
Oh?
Oh, okay. Here comes the engagement. And looks like Faithful Boys might be looking for this moment where they will get scored, and they will. Bullet time from the side, good enough to deal with the amount of damage for them to secure a double kill towards the victor. Maybe a third kill as well. On to Evening Chow, but Evening Chow down to his last tick of time. His day is going to be Bits. Taking that triple kill nonetheless to Agnes.
Man, the counterplay is just really good, but ADV was still able to clutch it out, especially since Pitts' jump hasn't been evolved just yet. I think he leveled up his first skill, leveled up his claw first for that extra isolated damage and just basic raw damage. Oh, outplay for spells in the top lane. I tried to use the Stormbringer, but it was a tad too late. So many kills, so much gold being acquired here by the members of ADV from all parts of the map. Prepping now for the second dragon. Faithful Boys, they're not as prepped as ADV, and that might be a bad indication of what the result can be if they try to contest it.
When the mid turret is pretty low now, if ADV gets the mid turret, they will have access into the jungle. But now the focus is going to be onto the dragon. They started off, and Faithful Boys will need to follow up. They're waiting by the corner, but they're going to come in from the other side. Jungle is going to start it off, and jungle is going to be disruptive. But ADV, they kept their cool. Dragon is still wide open though. A little bit more, and ADV will lock in Dragon. Here comes the fight. It will continue on. FFB tries to re-engage onto them, but they don't have enough damage. No, they don't. Manila Anilam. They should be happy enough with that.
It's a tough start here for Faithful Boys. ADV now Soul Point as well is going to have a massive threat, especially if they get the Ice Dragon Soul. That is like a mini Z ult, honestly, and it amplifies the ending damage that you can actually deal to your enemies, and it's so suitable for a Misfortune and a Victor. And Faithful Boys, they need to take things extra carefully. Two anti-shields as well. Just so much respect by Faithful Boys, especially on the Seraphine Scorn, was able to really help out the team with those anchors, with those shields. And because of those clutch moments, ADV doesn't really suffer that much casualties despite the attempts here of Faithful Boys.
And the gold gap is still there, but at least it's not that runaway sort of number yet. About a 2k, 3k should still be alright for Faithful Boys to try to challenge them back. No minions at the top. If there were minions, they would have got that turret. A bit of a chase here by Manila and Nilam onto Jangwan, and Jangwan, he does have the turret with him. He will be alright.
But he's being bullied constantly. Encore!
Oh, beautiful encore to two, together with the bullet time. Enough damage for them to take down the Kazakhs. And now they're on the chase to secure another kill. Double kill given. And Intentions
man, oh man,
will be the one to lock it in, and now they will lock in the Baron as well.
Yeah, that Encore flash was just brilliant coming in from Scorn. Autumn's just in the vicinity, but I don't think he can actually do anything here in the Baron pit, especially without his ult. Man, the timing by ADV, it was not expected by Faithful Boys at all.
Oh, that was absolute precision there. Man. And it just happened just like that. It was almost a situation of like, you blink and you miss it kind of moment. It happened so fast. And now ADV, with the fact that they've got the mid turret, they will have access into the jungle and they will overtake it.
It's a glimpse of the wombo combo potential of ADV. And Faithful Boys, they need to be really careful on where they want to step in next. Mid lane about to be pushed. Pitts in a good position alongside with Disaster.
Oh, and here comes Jangwan. All the way in, and looks like ADV, they're receiving a lot of damage. Agnes will go down. Same goes for Shy as well. No more damage dealers from the side of ADV, and Faithful Boys will want to be the cleanup crew right now. But they try to fight back though, but still Faithful Boys able to take up the damage. Again, ADV, they don't have enough damage. They have to back.
I mean, they got the Baron, but it's so far a little bit of a negative Baron power play, especially with that good initiation coming in from Disaster and the follow-up from Onyx as well. I think this ASOD is getting a lot of stacks already, especially because of the timing of team fights. And now ADV, if they keep letting this happen, it might just get out of control. Again, they do have poke, they do have engage, they do have range. But Faithful Boys, they have incredible engage. And as long as they get the early burst on the first punch against ADV, they might just get the knockout.
Who's going to get the next knockout here? The Dragon is going to be up in about 10 more seconds. Both sides can contest for it. Even Faithful Boys, at this point, with about 1k gold difference, they can contest for it as well. Oh, they're going to go in for it. Looks like they're not going to wait for the Dragon. They will straight up initiation. Oh, that's going to be the Zhonya's there, but that will not save Intentions. Intentions will still go down. Faithful Boys, this could be their moment. Manila as well. Out. And the Faithful Boys locks in the Dragon for sure. Looks like they're starting to climb back up.
Deny also the soul to ADV. Faithful Boys, their combo is working better than ADV. Especially with Disaster getting the early initiation. Spells fully engaging, and then the Meteor from the ASOL. Shiny really got taken down there, but the Bolivar is just immensely threatening to the members of ADV at this point.
Yeah, they have to keep track of Jangwan. What I noticed is that he has always been flanking, coming from the side, looking for the backline, or initiating right in the middle of the fight. And that becomes very, very disruptive towards ADV. So ADV, from the few fights that they have fought, they have to keep track of Jangwan.
Yep. Rabadon's Death Cap completed already for Onyx as well. I think it's trying to get Malignance as well. And that's gonna help them. That's gonna help him have a better cooldown on his ult. Baron, second Baron available right now. ADV, they want this, but it's so hard to get it. Equalizer even has been used just to try and push them away. I think the main goal here of Faithful Boys is to just keep stalling the game. Later on, the Kalista is going to be able to have maximum attack speed and also just be capable of kiting very easily, while the ASOL is slowly unlocking more and more power. The more stacks he gets, the higher his damage he gets as well.
And newsflash as well, Faithful Boys now are ahead in terms of gold by about less than 1,000, but still they managed to catch up now in terms of gold.
Yeah.
And soon they'll be able to catch up more in terms of itemization.
From a 5,000 gold deficit to now even against ADV is a scary comeback here being shown by Faithful Boys.
Well, let's see if they can take advantage of their goal difference right now. And the Baron is now going to be contested by either side again. We're going to go back to the brawl here. But before that, looks like Faithful Boys, they want to manage the lanes first, but keep check again on Jangwan. Jangwan is waiting by the side, but before that, they take care of the side lane.
Man, this ASOL is gonna be hard to reach as well. Most of the time, with a Seraphine composition, it's easy to get the engage towards the Aurelion Soul, but it's gonna be hard right now. The Encore, even if it hits Onyx, when he has that shield, not gonna be affected at all. And he already has the damage. The only question is, how much damage can this ASOL get, especially as the game goes by? Equalizer!
Oh, and here comes ADV. They're going to start it off, but Faithful Boys, they're going to recounter again. This is their mastery here, but they have to check their back as well. But Jangwan got his target. It's going to be shy out. Now they're looking for Manila and Inam. Both big damage dealers out. Agnes is still in the game though. But Faithful Boys, they don't have enough help to continue on the fight.
That was a close call for Faithful Boys, honestly. Yeah, they wanted to fight 2-1, but it almost became a 2-for-2, or maybe even a worse situation, because Onops actually got polymorphed by the Baron and got hit a lot in terms of damage by the Baron. Now Elder Dragon up. No Rumble, no Misfortune.
Ooh, no
But
Rumble.
no Smite for Faithful Boys.
No Rumble, no Misfortune. I don't think they can challenge
Oh,
for
they
it.
turn!
And instead, looks like Faithful Boys. They were going for the chase. They know they have the numbers. They know that they don't have those two players. That's why Faithful Boys, they just went in for it and they will get their dividends. Taking out Agnes and scoring.
Now this time, yeah, you have your jungler, but so does Faithful Boys, and you don't have your Victor and Seraphine. No way for them to actually check, no way for them to initiate, and now Elder Dragon secured by Faithful Boys, and they want to get the Baron as well.
Ooh, okay. If they get this Baron, there's a big chance they can close off the game. Unless if ADV can defend this one, and they have to. Now they cannot overcommit against like how they did before. They have to be patient and wait for Agnes and Scorn to come back.
Now the Baron pushes are going to be much easier as well. Not sure what's going to be the last item here upon us, but I think it's either going to be a Morelonomic one or the Malignant. He can actually go for Infinity Orb as well. I'm surprised he doesn't have yet, because he has the damage, he has the scaling, and the Infinity Orb is going to help so much in getting those extra damage, especially because of the crit of your abilities, especially damage on low HP targets. It's going to be wild.
When here goes, down goes the turret. And look at the bottom as well. Jungler pushing at the bottom too. So now they're putting a lot of pressure back on the ADV on two different lanes. Bottom turret down to 50%, waiting for the next batch of minions to arrive, and here they come. Matter of time till Faithful Boys goes in, the turret will fall in the middle right now. Also, waiting for the minions. They have arrived though. And Faithful Boys, there goes the bullet time. Oh, okay. But they will go all the way in, they got Agnes. That is a huge target for Faithful Boys. And now ADV, they're pushed back to a corner right now, but bullet time. At least they'll be able to trade it off by getting Evening Child. But is this an overcommitment by Faithful Boys? But Faithful Boys looking to end the game and become the champions of Warrior Shadow Pacific Legion.
Congratulations to Faithful Boys getting the championship win here in this tournament. It was a close call for them. The series started 2-0 by Faithful Boys, and then ADV climbed their way, attempting to secure a reverse sweep against them, but in the highest of the highest pressure in this tournament,